Desperado here again, and today we're going to cover the two camera paths that are probably the most difficult to work with, but at the same time they're the most, I guess you'd say they're the best, most useful ones. Those are, well, let me look at their name up real quick. They are Watch Entity and Shadow Entity. Now, as the name suggests, it will follow an entity around and it'll shadow that entity. Shadow, again, that means it's following the enemy without necessarily looking at it. Now you see I have my away team here. This is me and my bridge officers beaming in. Well, we're fading in. This is a pretty long demo file. It consists of us running around in this cave. As you can see, it's a pretty big cave. And I believe there's also some combat in it up in this area and again over here. But we won't get into the combat. We're just going to focus on this section right here. So let's get started. Let's add our path. We're going to use Watch Entity first. Now your familiar things come up, and there's also a new thing that comes up, Entity Path. You click on that and you can set a target. What you do is you click Set Target, and then you click which one you want it to be. Somebody was issued a Galler class cruiser just now, and I don't give a damn. And you just click on whichever entity. You can click on any of the bridge officers or a ship if you're in space. I'm going to click on myself. Now you can see the look at point now appears. This shows that we're going to be looking at this guy, and you can adjust the look at point. Remember, the camera's going to be looking at this. So it spawned way down here. That means the camera's going to be focusing on the dude's feet. But I'd rather it focus on his head or his chest. So let's put it about center of gravity, which is just above the waist in humans. And that'll be a good point for it to look at. And we are done with Entity Path. We're done with that unless you want to change targets. The rest of it is just like a normal path, really. You set your points and what have you. So I believe what happens in this path is I walk forward, turn around, walk backwards, turn around, and walk towards the door. So let's do that. We're going to set our points. So let's do point list and select the point up. Position the camera real quick. And let's add a point right here. And then I'm going to move forward. And add another point. And just to show you what it's going to look like, I'm going to add a third point over here by these stalagmites and stalactites. So now we got a nice little arc going, but notice our look at path has not changed. What this means is the camera is going to be hitting these 3 points along this path, but it's going to be looking at the same point every time. So just like in circle, the camera's moving, but the look point isn't. What you're actually going to see happen is, since this guy is going to walk around, the look point's going to move with him, which means while the camera is moving along this path, it's focusing on this look point. So the camera is going to be constantly changing its angle to keep this guy in center frame. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Let me set these times up real quick. I'm going to put a 5-second hold in the first point. And I want to hit the second point at about, let's see, when do they start moving? He looks around. They start moving at 9 seconds. So I want it to hit second point at 10 seconds. And they get right about here when they go to turn around. at 12. So at 12 seconds, I want it to be at the third point. And that should be enough time to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to save the path and let's watch it real quick. You see what I mean? Even though the camera is moving, as he moves, the camera focuses on him. So that you can see how this one would be a very useful camera path to have. And that's really all there is to it. So I'm going to delete this path real quick. And let's set up a more fancy one. So here we go. Here's the camera path, following them. Here we go, toggle this way. So you know, even though the camera speeds up, arcs around, goes around these rocks, it's focusing on them the whole time. Hits the last point at 20 seconds, and see us run. So yeah, that is watch entity. The next one we're going to cover is it is shadow entity. Shadow entity, like watch entity, is watching a selected entity or target. In this case, it'll be me again. Or actually, mix it up a little. Let's make it one of my bridge officers. Let's make it Tora here, my chief engineer. We'll follow her around. She's a Vulcan. Get used to it. So let's set her as the target. And it's going to follow her again. Look points down on her feet. Move it up to her about chest height. That way we have a good... Well, how about put it in the stomach for females, actually. That'd probably be better. So now we have a good place to look at. No dirty pun intended. We set our path. Now, shadow entity is a little different, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Add the first point way the hell over here. Let's add a second point way the hell over here. Now let's watch this path as they move. Some bitch was issued a Galar class vessel, blah 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 blah. Cryptic, please get rid of that. The path moves with them instead of just the camera changing to look. So I'm going to save this path real quick so you can see what it looks like. Here it is, camera's flying around. I'm looking around at this point. Blah 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 blah. The camera's actually moving with the character. Now notice I have another look at point over here. And if you notice, the camera went to move with that look at point. Let's move that look at point over here. So really what you're doing is you're setting the camera to go along a path just like you would normal and easy path, and then you're setting it to look at these different look at points just like normal and easy. However, the only difference is this camera path is going to be moving with a entity, in this case my chief engineer. So what you would use this for is if you're wanting to put emphasis on a certain character without putting emphasis on that character. Like if you want to see background explosions or something while the character's running down a hallway, This is what you would use that for. It's a lot easier than setting a normal path and then setting up the times. You just select 2 points and then set the times you want to get there. And then the camera will go there with this target. And you can add some explosions in the back and make it look really cool. So that's the last path with demo record. However, we're not done yet. There's some more advanced tricks I want to show you, but to do that, I'm going to have to get some more demo files. I'm going to have to get some friends to help me out to show you some of the cooler stuff you can do with this. So I hope you enjoyed it, and see you on the advanced video.